boys and girls, it is Thursday again. That means it's time for another THWIP Thursday. Today is March 4th, I believe. It's hard to keep track nowadays, the older I get. So I do THWIP Thursdays because I never really can get around to doing a WIP Wednesday, and besides, everybody else does WIP Wednesdays, so I have to be a little different. Usually, I have more finished objects to report on than WIPs, and no, that's sort of the case today. But it's also almost always a status report. How are things going? So I told you that I've been reaching out to some people with high-profile social media presences in fields outside of crochet and yarn craft, and offering them like hats and scarves and things if they would post pictures and credit me, and just, bringing attention to my channel, hoping to grow. I am over 440 now. Oh dear Lord, I remember when I used to weigh that much. Anyway, I am over 440 family members now, and I would love to see 500 very soon. I have a giveaway already to stage whenever I reach 500. So, like, subscribe, comment, all the YouTube stuff, share. And anyway, so I've been reaching out to people. On Tuesday, when I did my Topic Tuesday post, I was wearing a scarf and hat that I had made for my friend who lives in Texas, where actually it does get cold in the winter, as we have recently seen. It's been quite surprisingly cold there. But he also travels frequently to Germany. He's in the opera world. So I sent him a scarf and a hat. The hat was my own design. I showed it in great depth. I'm going to write up that pattern and make it available. I sent his wife a beret of silvery, sparkly yarn, and I had a toddler cardigan in my finished objects box that I just sent along for his son. I don't know whether it's the right size for his son, but in the note that I enclosed, I said, please feel free to re-gift or donate any of this. And that's that. So I sent that off this week. I posted pictures on Instagram also of a sparkly silver shawl that I made. It was a Bag O' Day pattern that I have done many, many times. She calls it her All That Glitters shawl. I sent that to a friend of mine who is a drag queen, a legitimate drag queen, and also an original singer-songwriter, and has raised tremendous amounts of money for all sorts of charitable causes, including HIV research, HIV social services, that sort of thing. I know him personally. I know that his own father was a hemophiliac and died of HIV because of that. So in addition to being an openly gay man, and feeling the need to do something for HIV, he also has his father's memory to think about. It makes me very sad, actually. But he's a lovely fellow, and a lovely woman too. So anyway, I have another project going for another friend. This is a scarf. I had to put it on pause because I ran out of this color yarn. This is a particular combination of stitches that I learned from Deer Fiber Spider. This is basically, it's just a combination of a cross stitch and a puff stitch. But I hope that you can see how the cross stitches work to create these diagonal lines. I don't know whether it's all that visible. I hope it is. In any case, so I ran out of that yarn, but this morning I bought some more, so I'll be able to finish this up and also make him another hat of the same pattern that I did. I'm rather pleased with this new hat pattern of mine. It's easier, and I think it takes a lot less yarn than my accidental hat pattern. And I do love my accidental hat pattern. There's a link to that in the description, of course. But I find, now that I have this, it's been a few days, I have to remind myself which hook I was using. I think I remember correctly, but it might take some trial and error. Foolish for not making a note of it. In any case, there we go. I bought some more of this yarn. This is actually Walmart mainstay yarn, and the color, I think it's just called blue. I would call it a royal blue. His coloring is similar to mine, so I think that this color is great for him and for me. In any case, I bought some more of that today. Let's see. I have talked before about this onesie that I have been making, and it also is on pause because I ran out of this yarn. This is Lion Brand Pound of Love in the color Pale Blue. Do you remember, I think it was in last week's THWIP Thursday, I was saying that when I was at Michael's there was one skein left of it, and it looked like it had been through the mill. It just looked in terrible condition. There was no wrapper. It was taped up. It was all, I don't even know that all the yarn was there. And I had bought another yarn that I thought would match, and under the fluorescent lights it looked close enough. In the light in here, I could cultivate enough denial to think that it might. But then when I was editing that video and I saw how this yarn and this compared, I was going, it's not going to work. And you know what? I think Lion Brand has discontinued that color. I went to several stores in town and couldn't find it. I went to several websites. I did find it on a website on Mary Maxim. I had never ordered from Mary Maxim before, but you can be sure I ordered 2 skeins of that because I don't think it'll even take 1 full skein to finish this onesie, but I'm going to want to do other things with it as well. I also got one of their cheap pound bags of mill-end yarn that's worsted weight. I don't know what color it's going to be. I'll probably get it next week in the mail. Oh, speaking of things I've ordered, there is a book. I will post a picture of the cover of the book, a book called Ostentatious Crochet, which is crochet patterns inspired by Jane Austen. And most of you know that I adore Jane Austen. She was my favorite author. I am a member of a Facebook group that is dedicated to Pride and Prejudice. So this, and you know, several of my crochet friends have talked about the book and have been doing projects based on patterns in the book. And it's rather expensive, but I did find a used copy on Amazon that was quite affordable, and on a whim, I went ahead and ordered it. Unfortunately, I ordered it the day after I canceled Prime, so I had to pay for shipping. Live and learn. Anyway, so what else do I have going on? Last night I finished this clergy stole. I made another one with this same yarn. I wasn't happy with it. I'm much more happy with this. This uses that puff stitch that I it's the same one I use in my Easy Shawl pattern, which is basically double crochet 2 together, chain 2, double crochet 2 together in the same stitch, in the same chain space. But I shaped it. I have to tell the story though. I'm going to write this up too, and I'm going to make some of these available. This one is already promised, but I'm going to make some of these available to my clergy friends. But I'm going to do some up in different liturgical colors. There's not enough time to do Easter ones, but I have a good amount of red yarn that I can do Pentecost stoles with. So, but I have to tell you the story. I went looking for clergy stole patterns just to get the dimensions. And I found this one pattern, the one where I actually got the dimensions that I used for this. The very first thing this pattern said was, first, measure your priest. Well, I've met a few priests I'd like to measure, but that's a different story altogether. Anyway, so yes, I plan to do some of those. I'm going to write up the pattern. That pattern is not going to be free. All of my hat patterns are going to be free. But not, and the shawl pattern also is free. They're on my blog. I'm going to put them on Ravelry as well. The stole pattern, 99 cents, I don't know. Just to get started charging something, because if I ever get this sweater pattern up, I do want to charge real money for it, because that has taken quite a substantial amount of blood, sweat, tears, and yarn. But anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, this is another hat in my new design, but you can't really see the detail because it's a variegated yarn. I bought this yarn on a whim. Didn't really know what to do with it, so I made a bunch of hats. I have this in my new pattern. I have several baby hats. So if you want to go back and if you missed it and want to go back and look at my topic Tuesday from this week, it was all about crafting for charity. In the description, I listed quite a number of resources, and I talked about things, and people who were participating in the live stream also shared some of their stories. It was a fun time. So I'm going to return to doing Topic Tuesdays regularly every week. Let us just say that I took February off. It was not a good month, and I posted sporadically. I did post the Sunday readings because they were pre-recorded and scheduled. Speaking of which, I hope you will follow my Sunday readings for the month of March, because March being the time of St. Patrick's Day, I have a special treat for the entire month of March, actually rolling into April. I also have something special for Easter Sunday, which is the first Sunday in April. What else was I going to say? Oh, well, I said that I went and bought some of that yarn. I ventured into Dollar Tree. People talk about finding wonderful yarn at Dollar Tree, and my luck has been very mixed at the Dollar Trees in my town. But I went into one that I hadn't visited in a while. We have several. This one I had not visited in a while, and I found a bunch of this Premier Just Yarn in worsted weight. Each of these skeins is only 131 yards, but I got, what did I get? I got 4 in this color, which is garnet, and 3 in this color, which is burgundy. And it looked to me like they had a permanent place on their shelves in this particular Dollar Tree for yarn. I was very pleased about that. Let's see, what else do I have going on? Okay, back to my schedule. Sundays, my Sunday readings. Tuesdays, Topic Tuesdays. Thursdays, THWIP Thursdays. I'm also going to start, I'm going to see if it works, a sort of a free form, or free for all, if you will, live on Wednesdays to follow Granny D's live. Her live is usually from 5 to 6 on Wednesdays. So I will start mine at 6 and see how long I can stand to do it. It'll be an hour or two. So because I'm trying to increase my subscriber count, I'm trying to increase my viewing hours, because I want to make this channel work. I think I have something to share. Okay, sometimes what I have to share is BS, but I want to share it anyway. So there we go. So I've been thinking what my next major project should be. I would welcome your thoughts on that. I just bought a pattern that was for a perfectly gorgeous sweater. Or I should do a final sample of my sweater using the final version of the pattern to see how that goes. Or I had a new idea for something to design while I was driving home from the store today. Or what? I don't know. I could do 3 or 4 of the prosperity tees that dear Dana has designed. I can do those. They're actually, it's not a difficult pattern at all, and you can size it for anyone. So I'm going to do 1 or 2. Well, the first thing I need to do is finish the scarf and hat for my friend, and the onesie when that yarn comes in, because the friend who gets the scarf and hat is the father of the baby who gets the onesie. I mentioned before the baby was born around New Year's, which makes him about 2 months old. So this onesie is in a size for 6 to 12 months. Just thinking ahead here. And so I have a little bit of time, but I do want to finish it. So many choices. I'm a little bit ADHD, which actually, this also brings up the topic I want to talk about on next week's Topic Tuesday, which is project management. So please share with me any tools, any methods you use for project management, because I want to learn. I want to be able to talk about it intelligently, even though I used to be paid very well to be an IT project manager. I wasn't very good at it. I was much better as a business analyst. But lots of businesses merge those two functions, so I didn't have much choice. In any case, I don't know that I have much more to share. I've only been going like 19 minutes, and some of that I have to cut out because I had to restart at the beginning. But please do like, comment, share. Thank you so much for watching. Tell your friends about me. And I think that's really all I have to say. And there we go. Bye now.